Okay, it's a very short video, but I have to record this because for those of you guys who follow me on Twitter now, it's called X. I recently got some argument with some so-called AI artist, and yeah, I'm not going to say their name, but I have to like record a rebuttal video, okay, because I want to sort of explain to my audience why I don't think their argument is valid, is good enough, and why digital arts and programming and all the work that the like sort of like traditional work that we pursue still have value, and still, yeah, we have to stick to this, but also embrace the improvement of artificial intelligence and incorporate this into our workflow. But that doesn't mean that our original work is meaningless, and we should like give them up altogether. Okay, just hear me out. So this artist, so-called AI artist, and they also call themselves like the prompt engineers. Okay, so it's like really, really big words, like high-end career, something like that. But if you think about this, they are just like using some software, like service like Mid Journey, or maybe they, if they know a little bit about programming or workflow, they may use like Comfy UI. I also got like tutorial of a Comfy UI because I worked as a programmer in an international finance in the company, and then later I embraced the digital arts. So I know a little bit more, I think, about programming than this so-called prompt engineer, this engineers did. So yeah, I not only learn traditional art, but also I learn digital art as well as the so-called like the AI workflow. Just to I want learn things, know what is going on, and how to like promote this AI trend, like ethical use of AI, and yeah, this is just my part of the bigger picture. Um, but this so-called prompt engineers just like input a specific text. Come on, let's just face it. What they are doing is just input a specific like string, like a text, into a prompt, like a text field, as a prompt, and then click a button, right? And then they wait for this result. And they have the like audacity, they have this kind of superiority over themselves, say, hey, we're embracing the like latest technology, but you, like the old classic artists, traditional artists, are using some tool like Photoshop. Oh my gosh, it's like you're so dinosaur when compared with our AI artist. I think it's totally wrong because first, you just input some text and output an image. That doesn't mean that you know anything about art. You just write things. They say, hey, director don't usually know how to write, or they don't know usually how to like get the lighting correct, something like that. But they can direct a great film, and they are sort of treat themselves as a, hey, we are the director of the art industry. But I think it's a sort of like a garbage in, garbage out. You pull in garbage and you output garbage, but that sort of garbage is a sort of industry average because the model is incorporated with a lot of artists' work, so it's sort of like industry average art, and you input something, they just randomly generate that according to the prompt, and maybe if they're a little bit technical about this, they can like add some in paint, like maybe processing a little bit, okay? But I have seen this guy's work. Most of the thing that he did is just a so-called like prompt engineering, just to input prompt, get an image, and maybe use that image, put that into another service that he doesn't know anything about. They just use their service and make it just move a tiny little bit, and add some like stock music, like epic stock music, and say, hey, this is a great thing that I'm creating. I'm a director. I'm making like a real art and like a state cutting edge state of the art, and you guys are making really slow progress. And they have like specially indicate that I'm making a really low progress, and it's the really bad time to learn art, because they can learn arts like overnight. And that's the moment, okay? If you like have a different opinion about me, about anyone, that's completely okay. But that is the moment I realized that I have to like defend the hardworking community of artists, and sort of like expose, or sort of like just tell everyone what they actually do, and you can judge for yourself, okay? They're what they actually do is not like study anatomy or study light shadows, all that. They're not practicing, they're just using other people's service, input a specific prompt, wait for the result, fine tune it a little bit, and maybe use the output to another service, and they are calling themselves like engineer. Okay. But here is another way that I want to say to those guys who think they are sort of an engineer and cutting edge thing. Okay. So just they think that they are the cutting edge and we are the obsolete. But in fact, I think I'm a like neutral point when facing AI. I think AI is like a progressing, like updating every day, and they can render a lot of things obsolete. But here is my opinion: they, the so-called prompt engineers, will be obsolete like within days, um, rather than the traditional artist, because you know I don't want like say again about how this AI model are trained, because some people may say that they stole a lot of the hard to train. I already discussed this topic. So say already there is a model that can accept input and give the output, all right? And this model is based on a lot of artist work, so it's trained on artist photo artist drawing, all that. But what about a model that based on your prompt? What should you do? Okay, so for example, you say, hey, I know how, say, Midjourney works, and I have a perfect prompt, and this is so ludicrous that it's kind of lovable. And I've seen a lot of people, so-called prompt engineers, um, made a website that actually sell the prompt. In my humble opinion, I think these prompts are meaningless and worthless, and they sell like a $20 one prompt, just some text string. Okay, because I also train these models, so I know that maybe like WD is like a tagging model that can generate all the prompts based on the image. So it's sort of like a reverse engineering of all the prompts. And of course, there are also a website that can publish prompt and study from the prompt and make your prompt better prompt. So there is already model based on your prompt. So it's sort of like optimize the prompt. Is that model make the so-called cutting-edge pop engineer AI artist obsolete? Of course, based on your knowledge, if there is like an art model that make artists obsolete, this sort of a language model will also make the so-called language engineers, prompt engineer, and AI artist obsolete. So what's your like the competitive advantage in this ever-changing AI game? Right? You can make a lot of things obsolete. So the the fundamental question becomes whether you have something that you improve every day. So as a art learner, I seldom call myself artist. It's not like artist, but rather I'm a learner of digital art. Someone may call this like a digital artist. I often call myself a learner of digital art, as well as like AI, adding how to add an AI, how to experiment with AI, to incorporate that into the workflow, and to help artists or art learner. So that's the point that I'm trying to make. Do not think that learn art as well as improve your taste, improve your knowledge base, and practice as some sort of a randomness and like uh, meaningless effort, but rather try to compare you today with you yesterday, right? You today maybe use some AI tool and you can make products or make things like more efficiently. You can do that. And you already achieve a lot when compared with you yesterday. So that's the point I'm trying to make. And that is the progress that you should be proud of. So here is my opinion that I want to share with all these fellow artists as well as so-called AI artists. Okay, even though you may be really anxious about the improvement of AI, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't improve yourself, and it still have meaning by improving and by learning. Okay, yeah. So, thanks. Bye.